At noon, a search for answers after a 6-month-old baby was found dead in Clayton County. The child's father appeared in court today after being named a suspect. I'm Saria Sandlin.
And I'm Brooks Baptiste. Antonio Pierce is now facing charges of making false statements about his missing child, as well as unrelated drug charges. Atlanta News First Sarah Hammond is live from the Clayton County Courthouse. And Sarah, Pierce is denied bond.
That's right. So Antonio Pierce appeared virtually before a Clayton County judge just about an hour ago, just hours after his 6-month-old baby was found dead near his apartment complex. Now, Pierce is not charged in his son's death or disappearance. We want to make that clear. But Pierce is charged with making false statements to police about missing 6-month-old Nnakai Pratt. According to the medical examiner's office, his son's body was found last night near the Riverdale apartment complex where this search all began. Pierce initially told police he was robbed and they took Pratt, but police say his story did not add up and investigators found evidence of foul play. Now, Pierce is also charged with possessing marijuana that he intended to sell and admitted that he kept the drugs and money in an abandoned apartment. Those are those unrelated charges. Today, the judge denied bond for Pierce.
You're also charged with false statements in that you did provide contradictory statements in an investigation of a missing child, and when witness accounts verified your contradictory statements, you admitted to concealing and falsifying material facts.
Police department is remaining tight-lipped on any additional details on the young boy's death or if Pierce will face any additional charges. Live here at the Clayton County Courthouse, Sarah Hammond for Atlanta News First.